Welcome back to Buff-A-Touille. Today we're going to do something special. We're going to have a holiday meal. And over the years, it's been kind of hard for us to travel for the holidays due to different life circumstances. So we recognize during those events when you want to be with the family, it's not always possible to do that. But yet you still want to celebrate and really have the feeling of a holiday. So today, we're going to do that. We're going to do a Thanksgiving meal for 2 or 3 on a budget. Today we're going to make what we like to call Thanksgiving sliders. And it consists of a sweet potato turkey slider served on a Hawaiian roll with a cranberry aioli. We think you're really going to like this, so let's get started. All right, so the very first thing we're going to do is we need to make our aioli. Now, with the aioli, we're going to want to make that probably 2 to 3 hours ahead of time. Like I said, there's a cranberry aioli, which is going to bring out some sweetness in the sliders. And today we're going to use dried cranberries. And so once we make those, we're going to refrigerate this aioli, and the cranberries are really going to wake up inside of our sauce here. So we want to make it, we want to chill it. So to get started here, we want a cup of mayonnaise. I like to use the olive oil mayonnaise. So we're going to start with a cup of mayonnaise. Okay, so we have a cup of mayonnaise. We're going to go ahead and put that into our mixing bowl. All right. That went pretty well. And then we're going to take the dried cranberries and we're actually going to chop them up. So I've got dried cranberries here. You can use fresh cranberries, but dried cranberries are cheaper. You're going to be able to use them over and over. And once they get into here, they're going to soak it up anyways. So we're going to chop these up just to make them a little smaller. You don't have to go real fine. And honestly, they're dehydrated and small anyways, but they will expand. And it's cranberries that really make the aioli stand out. I'm going to say between the cranberries and the garlic that we're going to put in there. You know, anytime you have a reason to eat aioli, you want to take advantage of that. It might be right up there with, you know, we talk about butter and cheese, how it makes the world go round, but I'm going to say aioli is not that far away. All right, so we're chopped up here. We're going to go ahead and add that. And we're going to probably make a mess, but that's half the fun, cleaning, picking up your mess. Okay, I'm going to give that a little stir. How many cranberries did I use? Yeah, I used between a half and 3/4 cup. Usually I put in a half to 1, I guess, ratio between the mayonnaise and the cranberries, but I'm going a little heavier today because I really like the flavor of the cranberries. So those are in there, marinating, taking in some delicious flavors already. And now we need to cut up some garlic. So it's up to you, but I would probably do maybe 2 large cloves of garlic. 1 to 2. These here are quite large. As you can see here, this garlic is massive. So I'm actually only going to put in 1 of these because it is so gigantic. So, but you just never know. I think we go through garlic every day here. Normally I have a little bowl to throw my stuff in, but I was not ready for this quite yet, I guess. All right. If you do have a garlic press, that does make your life easier. But there's just something nice about cutting things up and the process of doing that. It's kind of peaceful if you like to do that. So one of my favorite parts of cooking would be the cutting part so far. I used to fish a lot, and those of you that know me well, I didn't catch a ton of fish, but it was always very enjoyable to just go out and reflect upon trying to fish and waiting for the fish to bite. Cutting up food's kind of similar. It kind of gives you a chance to really zone out and just, well, not zone out, focus, hyper focus on the cutting and forget everything else that's going on. I recommend cutting this up fairly fine. You want to mince it. That's where the garlic press is really nice. This is nearly done. We just have a couple more ingredients here. All right, got that. Now we're going to take some Dijon mustard, just 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard. It's not real strong. If you need to put in a second one, go for it. All right, and then lastly, we're going to want to add some sugar just to sweeten it up. Not much, just a little bit. So 1 to 2 teaspoons. I'm going to put in 2 today. 2 teaspoons of sugar. Okay, that is all of our ingredients. Now we're going to give it a really nice stir. You can really smell this. You know, aioli is really just a base. It consists of mayonnaise and garlic. Depending on where you live, it may sound disgusting, but I would say where we live, it's probably like, you know, we have a state bird, we have a state flag, and I would say we have a state sauce or a state condiment, and that would definitely be aioli. We lived in a different state before, and then we moved here, and now it's aioli for everything, I think. But once you taste it, you're like, oh yeah, how do I make that now? So, all right, so we're gonna want to let this chill for 2 to 3 hours. And it's interesting, the cranberries are gonna grow in size. You won't notice it so much in the mayonnaise, but if you want to have a little fun, just take some of those dried cranberries, throw them in the water, and watch them expand. They'll grow back to their full size, really. So in here, they're going to fill up with the oils and the mayonnaise, and they'll just really be juicy. So with that, we're going to go ahead and put this in the refrigerator, and we'll start prepping our next item here in about an hour or so, which will be our sweet potato. All right, welcome back. So now that our aioli is nearly done chilling, we've gone ahead and started to prep the rest of the work. So for the turkey and sweet potato burger itself, we've got a few different things going in it. So I'm just going to start with, we already cut up about a 1/4 cup. There's a 1/4 cup of yellow sweet onion. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that in the bowl now. And you can cut that as small as you want. But then we've got some garlic. So this is 1 large clove of garlic that's cut up fairly fine. And then, because it's Thanksgiving, and if you think about some of the things that are served at Thanksgiving, like stuffing, and stuffing would typically have like sage in it. So we've got some fresh sage leaves that are finely cut that we're going to go ahead and put in there. So there are 4 of those cut up finely. I'll put those in. And then lastly, our favorite salt, pepper, garlic combination. We're going to go ahead and put that in as well. Okay. So now, the only thing we have left to put in here is going to be our sweet potato, which we're going to cook here in a second. and then our 1 pound of ground turkey. We may add just a little olive oil just to see how oily it is. I guess we want it to all bind together. But the trick here, you can do sweet potatoes a couple different ways. One way, you can put them in the oven, and we're gonna end up only eating the inside of the sweet potato. So you can either bake it for 30, 40 minutes. It varies on the size. This is a 10-ounce sweet potato. Or you can put them in the microwave. But either way, you want to poke holes in it. So we have a corn holder here, which works really well. And we just want to poke holes all the way around the potato, which has been washed already, just so it can vent out. This tool works really well. You can use a fork, use whatever you want. Just make sure you puncture some holes in it for the steam to get out. Today we're going to use the microwave method, which is really simple. For that, we'll wrap the sweet potato in a wet paper towel, a couple wet paper towels for a couple wraps, and we'll put it in the microwave. It'll take 6 to 8 minutes. We'll do it in about 60 to 90-second increments. What we're looking for is the sweet potato to be really soft. So you'll know when it's done when it's really squishy, but we want it to cook all the way through. So we got our holes punctured in here. All right, and we'll wrap that. Give me 1 second here. So one reason to wrap this is just keep the moisture in. We don't want it to dry out. You can do as many sweet potatoes as you want at a time. You just need to go longer in the microwave. But we'll go ahead and put that in the microwave. Okay, so we just took this out of the microwave. It's really hot right now, but it is nice and squishy. So we're gonna go ahead and unwrap that. You probably see the steam coming out of it. Of course, the paper towels are gonna be hot water, so they're nice and hot themselves. I'm gonna go ahead, cut this in half. And I'm gonna cut it in half again and again. And then we want to scrape that out. So because this is gonna be really hot, I like to put it into this bowl. And then I'll put that bowl in the refrigerator just for a little bit, just to cool it down. Okay, so now we got that out. We're just going to set that aside. We're going to use one of these tools here. I think of it as a potato masher, but apparently it's called some form of a pastry tool. What kind of pastry cutter is this called? I did not get an answer. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and get this in the refrigerator quickly. Okay, so I actually put it in the freezer for just a few minutes because it was just really hot. So I'm going to go ahead and add that into the bowl here. We'll mash it up a little more before we add the turkey. Our oven we have at 400 degrees. These will take, once we make these sliders, it'll take about 25 minutes in there. So we'll go ahead and add the 1 pound of ground turkey. And I'm going to add just a little olive oil, just to give it a little bit of oil to it. So we got about a tablespoon of olive oil added to that. We'll go ahead and make our patties next. Like to put on gloves for that. And we're looking for smaller patties because we're going to put this on Hawaiian dinner rolls. So I don't think any holiday is complete without a Hawaiian dinner roll. So that's what our slider bun will be made out of. So we want small patties. All right, let's get this all mixed up. You can really smell the sage, being fresh sage versus a dried sage. It has a fairly strong aroma to it, but a blend between that and the garlic and the onion. So you can choose to pan fry these, but honestly, I like them better in the oven because on the pan, on the skillet, you tend to get like burnt pieces, which I don't really care for that. These will be really moist when we're done here in the oven. Like I said, about 25 minutes. We want to get it to the temperature that we need it at, that 165 range. Okay, let's say we got some patties here ready to be made. So we have a small ball here. Say, it's just about like a golf ball. I'm just going to make a small patty, not go super smashed with it, but I would say it's probably 1/2 inch thick, somewhere in there. Okay, so why are we making this? I guess when you think about Thanksgiving, it's a lot of things that come back for memories. One of them is turkey, I think fairly traditional, but some others would be I've got meat flying all over here. Some others would be stuffing and pumpkin pie, and I think some people eat a lot of sweet potato pie or sweet potato souffle, which is also another thing that we make as well. But naturally, if you're going to have a Thanksgiving slider, why not just put all those things together and you don't have to travel? Maybe you can't travel, that's fine. See, with my wife's work profession doesn't allow us to leave for very many holidays, so we tend to stick around. Yeah, so you go about 10 on here. They're really not going to change a whole lot in shape in the oven. Okay, so those are ready to go in the oven. We will throw those in and we'll see you in 25 minutes. All right, we just took these out of the oven. You can see here, they're very colorful. We're going to put them on these Hawaiian rolls. And look at that beautiful aioli. Look at the colors on those, just look amazing. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and assemble them and we're going to enjoy it. All right, so this is the moment we've been waiting for. Go ahead and got a Hawaiian dinner roll cut in half here. We'll take one of these delicious looking patties. Yummy. And then on the top, I'm going to take a very generous scoop of this aioli. And maybe even more generous than that. It'll probably drip all over me and we'll laugh about it later. But right now we're going to marry these and we're going to just be happy as can be. All right, let's do it. That's really good. I'll probably have mayonnaise all over my face because I'm not shaving for the month of November to celebrate men's health. But the extra cranberries really made it a little bit sweeter brought out just a little bit of a sourness to it as well. It's just really the right ratio of everything. I don't know if you caught it earlier. I did change it up a little bit from my past, so I did 3/4 cup roughly of dried cranberries to a 1 ounce or to a 1 cup of mayonnaise. So anyways, we hope that you have a very happy holidays and that you feel comfortable making something like this. It's really pretty simple. It'll give you memories of home, or it's real easy to do. Make it anytime. Experiment. Put other things on it if you're not excited about the cranberry aioli, but I would say that would be a mistake. That's probably my favorite part. So anyways, thank you for another Buff-A-Touille experience. Have a great day.